single day. I'm gonna make something great.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel justdoit.career. In the last lecture we had practical demo for how to create Azure account for free. Today we will first understand the hierarchy of the objects in Azure. Then we will understand the theoretical concepts of Azure Storage Account and the hierarchy of its types. Then we will jump into the practical where we will see how to log into Azure Portal. Then we will create a resource group and a storage account. So let's begin. Let us understand the hierarchy of the objects in Azure. Firstly, at the top position, there is a subscription, which is nothing but a billing account or identity for your organization. Then there comes the resource groups. In previous lecture, I have already explained what is a resource group. So whoever wants to know, they can go back to my earlier video and come back to this point. For now, you can consider resource group is nothing but a box to keep all our stuffs, that is resources, collectively under one roof. Then inside a resource group, you can create resources as per your need. So this is a logical diagram how it will look like when we actually create a resources in our Azure subscription. I hope you got a good understanding of how the hierarchy of the resource group and the resources in the Azure subscription looks like. So let's move forward and let us understand how Azure Storage Account works. Azure Storage Account is a Microsoft's cloud storage solution for modern data storage scenarios. Azure Storage offers a massive scalable object store for data objects, a file system service for a cloud, a messaging store for reliable messaging, and a NoSQL store. Azure Storage Account includes below data services, which is Azure Blob, Azure Files, Azure Queue, and Azure Table. So Azure Blob is a massively scalable object store for text and binary data, where Azure File is a managed file share for cloud or on-premise deployment. Then Azure Queues are messaging store for reliable messaging between application components. Then Azure Table is a NoSQL store for schema-less storage of structured data. Now let's move on and see what are the main types of storage account. There are two main types. One is standard and one is premium. Before we move, let's understand what is account kind. Account kind is the version that you want to select. So as per your version that you select, you will get the advanced features. So after that, there comes the access tiers. Access tiers are of two types. One is hot and one is cool. Hot is optimized for storing the data that is accessible frequently, and cool is optimized for storing the data that is infrequently accessed and stored for at least 30 days. So the cool storage is most used for the data that are rarely used, kind of backup. Cool storage is preferred due to its lower storage cost, but it has relatively higher access, that is transition cost, compared to the hot storage data. So now let's consider standard storage account first. Account kind in a standard storage account are storage account version 1, that is V1, storage account V2, and the blob storage. Now further, storage account V1 don't have any access tiers, whereas storage account V2 and the blob storage have the access tier called as hot and cool. So you can select whichever you want. Now if we want to see the type of storage that are available under each account kind, then here is how it is. Storage account V1 and storage account V2 have all the four types of storage, that is blob storage, file share storage, queue storage, and table storage. Whereas if we select account kind as blob storage, it will only give you the access for the blob type of storage. Whereas if we look for the premium storage account, the account kind are almost same, but in addition there is a file share storage, and the most important difference is that it doesn't have access tier feature, that is hot or cool. They are only meant for the hot tier. So similarly, the storage account V1 and V2 have all the four type of storage, whereas file share storage have only file share access, and the blob type of storage will have only blob type of storage access. I will explain you what is blob in detail when we move towards the understanding of each type of storage account and its demo in the next lecture. Now let us understand the replication strategy for Azure Storage Account. First of all, there is a local redundant storage, which is also called as LRS. This is a simple, low-cost replication strategy. Data is replicated synchronously 3 times within the primary region, that is within the same data center locally. Then there comes a geo-redundant storage, which is called as GRS. It is a cross-region replication to protect against the regional outage. Data is replicated synchronously 3 times in a primary region and then replicated asynchronously to secondary region. Then there comes read access geo-redundant storage. Read access geo-redundant storage maximizes the availability of your storage account. Read access geo-redundant storage provides read-only access to the data in secondary location in addition to geo-replication across 2 regions. In the previous lecture, where we have learned what is cloud, I have explained that we have Azure data centers in many regions for accessing our data with low latency by reducing the hop counts. So now my question is, in how many regions or countries Azure data center must be distributed? So let me tell you, overall the data centers are available in 140 different countries and there are more than 54 Azure regions across the globe. Also there are certain regions where you will get the high availability because they are divided in separate zones. I hope you got a good understanding of what is a storage account and how it is distributed. If you still have any doubt, you can easily refer this table that I have created for you to get the clarity. Ta-da! Now let's see the demo for how to create a resource group and a storage account. To create a resource group, first we have to click on resource group option, then we have to click on add, where we can create a new resource group, and we have to specify a few basic details, that is a resource group name. So I'm keeping the name as test just do it.career. Then I have to specify the region for where the resource group need to be launched. So I'll select it as East US 2 region, then click on next. It will show me the option to tag my resource. For now I'm skipping this. So let's go to review and create page. It will validate all the fields that we have specified and you have to just click on create. So once you click on create, it will start creating your resource at the backend. My resource group is not visible in this list, even though I get the notification that resource group is created. What we have to do is we have to refresh the page. Now I'm able to see my resource group name, and once I click on it, I should be able to see the resources inside this resource group. Currently there are no resources created, so we won't be able to see it. So let's create a storage account now. So we have to click on storage account section, then click on the add, and we can create a new storage account. So first of all, we have to fill in some basic information, that is resource group name. We can select the resource group that we have already created recently, or if you want to create a new resource group at this stage, you can click on create new and specify the resource group name. It will not take the same name which is already existing in your subscription. We have to create a new fresh name and then click on OK. For now I'm selecting the same that we have created in this video. Then we have to fill in the storage account name. Here we have to take care of few things, that is our storage account name must not be using capital letters. It must be a small letter or a number which is in the range of 3 to 24 characters, and it should be a globally unique name because the storage account is a global unique identity. I'll create it as just do it storage. Oh, I misspelled it, I guess. So it's not a storage, it's a storage, right? So let's go ahead and I'll have to select the location. If you want to change the location at this level, you can change it. Then there is a performance tier, there is a premium and standard, as we have discussed earlier. So in premium there is few exceptionals that we have to take care of, and in standard there are 3 types of account kind, that is storage v1, v2 and blob storage. So currently for demo I am using storage account v2. In that, there I can see many options to be selected. That is local redundant, zonal redundant, geo redundant, read access redundant, but last two are in preview mode. So they might be coming soon. So they are in test mode, that is preview mode. Okay, so for now I'm selecting it as local redundant storage, as I don't need any kind of replication over here. Then when we click on next option, there is a networking part. We can select this storage account to be in a public subnet or a public network, that is anyone anywhere in the world can access this storage account, or else we can select a public endpoint which is in a selected network. For a public endpoint, we have to specify the network that we have created, VNet. Then if we click on next, there is an advanced option where secure transfer required by default enabled, then data protection, which is a blob soft delete option, which is disabled by default, and the data lake store gen 2 option, which is the hierarchical namespace option given, which is currently disabled. We can enable it from here. Then there comes the option for tagging your resource. You can tag your resource here, and then you can review and create your resource. So here the validation will be done for all the information that you have provided. I think I just missed one thing, that is access tier. By default, it is a hot type of storage access tier which is used, but we can even change it from here at the first page at the basic level. The access tier, the detail of the access tier and what is the use of it, I have already explained in this video. So you can see this video again and again because it's for free. And then we can click on create a resource. So once we click on create a resource, you will see the notification. Once you click on the notification, you will see this page where it will show you the progress of your resource getting created. So once your resource is created, then you can click on go to resource. When you go to resource, this storage account will be visible to you. So this is how storage account looks like. It will show us the resource group name, the status is primary available, location is East US2, subscription ID, then performance tier, then the replication type and the account kind. Alright, so this is all the information that you will get in a resource group. There are the services that you can use in this storage account, that are container, that is Blob, then file share, then tables, then queues. So these all four kind of services you can use in this storage account. There are few tools that you can use to access this storage account. Then it will show us the metrics, and then there is the option to open the Explorer. Explorer is a tool to access this storage account. You can move this storage account to some other resource group if you want by clicking here. Okay, so there is another option called as activity log. You can check all the activities, all the logs for the changes or something happened to this resource. You can check it from activity logs. Then there is an option called as access control, that is IAM, where you can provide a specific access to your resources, that is a storage account. In the next video, we are going to see how we can create a container, a file share, a tables, and how we can use a queue and a storage explorer to access the storage account.